Good morning, children. We are discussing P block 2. In this P block elements, we are in halogen family. In last class, we have discussed chlorine, the important element in this family. Like that, we have discussed how we can prepare chlorine, what are the physical and chemical properties, the uses, all those things we have discussed in last class. This is the important compounds of chlorine. Okay, hydrogen chloride, hydrochloric acid. You know what is hydrochloric acid, how we are using in our salt analysis, all those things you have did practical in your 11th standard. Okay, now we are going to see this hydrochloric acid, how we can prepare this hydrochloric acid, what are the physical properties, chemical properties, and what are the uses of this hydrochloric acid. Okay, so now first we are going to see preparation of hydrochloric acid, how we can prepare. We can prepare this hydrochloric acid in the lab just by treating ionic chlorides. Yeah, ionic chloride is what? Like sodium chloride. Okay, that we have to take. When we are taking this salt and when we add with sulfuric acid H2SO4, is converted into sodium bisulfate plus hydrochloric acid. Like this we can prepare. This sodium bisulfate again can react with 1 more mole of NaCl and it will be converted into sodium sulfate Na2SO4 plus HCl. Actually, the reaction taking place here is just displacement reaction, just displacing this hydrogen. Okay, so that we are getting Na2SO4, the remaining HCl. Same way here also. Okay, so like that we can prepare the hydrochloric acid in the lab. Okay, the next one, physical properties. Physical properties. This hydrochloric acid is colorless, pungent smelling plus, easily it will dissolve in water. Okay, it is colorless, pungent smell. You don't know what is pungent smell? You have tested the smell in the lab. Do you remember? Pungent smelling gas, and it is extremely soluble in water. Extremely soluble in water. So when this HCl dissolves in water, how it will be converted? We know it is acid. When we add water, which will be released outside? Good. H plus will be released outside. Okay. So when we add the HCl in water, H plus will be released. Easily produces H plus. Okay, that's why we are calling this is an acid. Okay. So H plus cannot exist freely, always it will exist with water as H3O plus Cl minus. Okay, so this is the physical properties of hydrochloric acid. The next one, chemical properties of hydrochloric acid. What are the chemical properties? Generally, when acid reacts with base, surely there is a formation of vinegar. Good. Okay, what is the product here? The product here it is salt plus water. Good. Okay. So now chemical properties. Now we are going to see in chemical properties. Just since it is acid, it will react with base and it will produce salt plus water. And if the acid reacts with metal, it produces salt plus hydrogen gas. If it reacts with carbonate base, surely the product will be carbon dioxide. With sulfate, the product will be sulfur dioxide. Okay, just we are going to see one example for this. Okay, so the first one here with metal. Zinc is a metal. When it reacts with the HCl, it produces zinc chloride, Cl2 plus hydrogen. Okay, hydrogen gas. When the metal reacts with acid, it produces hydrogen gas. The next one here, reaction to base. Here let us take the carbonate base. Simply base means salt plus water. If the base let's take the example of sodium bicarbonate, NaHCO3. When it reacts with hydrochloric acid, it produces what gas? Carbon dioxide. Then remaining NaCl plus H2O. NaCl plus H2O. When you balance, you will get like this. Okay. The next one here, the if the hydrochloric acid is reacting with sulfates. Okay, let us take the example here, sodium sulfate, Na2SO4. When it reacts with hydrochloric acid, it produces sulfur dioxide. SO2 will be released outside. Then the remaining, what is the remaining now here? Now NaCl is there plus H2O. Now the equation is balanced. Okay, so this is the chemical property of hydrochloric acid. It reacts with metal, it produces hydrogen gas. With carbonate base, it produces carbon dioxide. With sulfate, it produces sulfur dioxide. Okay, the next one here, the 3 part of HCl and 1 part of nitric acid, HNO3, mixed together, and it produces one solution. That solution is called as aqua regia. Okay, so what is aqua regia? One more question. Aqua regia is nothing but 3 part of hydrochloric acid and 1 part of nitric acid mixed together as a solution. This solution is called as aqua regia. Other name for this aqua regia is royal water. Royal water. Okay, so they can ask in 1 mark, what is the proportion of royal water? Okay, so you can write 3 part HCl, 1 part HNO3. What purpose we are using this royal water? Means to dissolve gold and platinum. Okay, another 1 mark question. To dissolve gold and platinum. Okay, this is taken. You can expect it. 2 more questions. So what is aqua regia? Write its use. Like also they can ask. Okay. The next one here, uses of hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is used to prepare chlorine, and we can prepare ammonium chloride, and we can extract glucose from cornstarch. The normal uses are, it is used in the manufacture of chlorine, ammonium chloride, and another one more here, we can extract glucose from cornstarch. Here 1 more question. Which acid is used to extract glucose from cornstarch? Like that they can ask. Okay, 1 more question. Okay, then the extraction of glue from bone oil, all those things. Okay, the remaining uses. Okay, just you can copy this. Very simple. Hydrochloric acid. How we can prepare the hydrochloric acid in the lab? What are the physical properties? What is the smell? What is the color? And whether it is soluble in water or not. That's all about the physical properties. In chemical properties, it reacts with zinc and produces hydrogen gas. With carbonate base, carbon dioxide. With sulfate, produces sulfur dioxide. And 3:1 part of hydrochloric acid, nitric acid is called as aqua regia. It is also known as royal water. It is used to dissolve gold and platinum. Then uses, it is used to manufacture chlorine, ammonium chloride, and the extraction of glucose from cornstarch. We are using this hydrochloric acid. Okay, just copy down. The next we are going to see another topic, hydrogen halides. Okay, here this is also hydrogen halide only. Okay, here the important compound of chlorine. In that topic we are learning about hydrochloric acid. The next topic is hydrogen halides. Okay, the place of chlorine, here we may have fluorine or bromine or iodine. Okay, just that is hydrogen halides. Okay, so now let us discuss about this hydrogen halides. We know the 17 group elements are forming hydrogen halides. Okay. Hydrogen halides. What are the hydrogen halides? Hydrogen fluoride, hydrogen chloride, fluorine, chlorine, then bromine, hydrogen bromide, then hydrogen iodide. Okay, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Okay, the next acid will be the maximum. We will include only this four as halogens. Okay, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. Okay, now we are going to see how we can prepare this hydrogen halides. What are the physical properties, chemical properties, and uses of this hydrogen halides. Okay. Now this direct combination of hydrogen and the halogen leads to the formation of hydrogen halides. Okay. For example, hydrogen reacts with chlorine and produces hydrofluoric acid HCl. Okay, like the direct combination leads to the formation of hydrogen halides. Okay. The next one here, when the hydrogen and the fluorine reacts, it also produces HF, but this reaction is a violent reaction. This is a violent reaction. Easily the fire will be produced there. Okay, it is a violent reaction. The next one here, hydrogen and bromine, H2 and Br2, and H2 and I2. This also produces the compound, the hydrogen bromide and hydrogen iodide. But these reactions are reversible reactions. That means again it will decompose and produces hydrogen and bromine, decomposes and produces hydrogen and iodine. Okay, it is a reversible reaction. So we cannot get pure HBr and pure HI. Okay, we will get a little amount of hydrogen and bromine also. Since it is a reversible reaction, this mixture also will present in the particular hydrogen bromide and hydrogen iodide. Okay, so the direct combination is not successful for this preparation of hydrogen bromide and hydrogen iodide in the pure form. But we can prepare this hydrogen chloride and hydrogen fluoride. The hydrogen fluoride reaction is violent reaction. 1 mark question. Okay, the next one here. Okay, now we are not able to prepare by direct combination. Then what are other methods to prepare this hydrogen halides? Okay, especially for bromine and iodine. Now we are going to see some other methods. Okay, the next method here, displacement reaction. Displacement reaction. Suddenly you can remember. Just now only I have taught in hydrochloric acid topic, isn't it? NaCl reacts with sulfuric acid, produces sodium bisulfate and hydrochloric acid. There I said it is a displacement reaction. Just the sodium displacing the hydrogen from that place. Okay, like that we have discussed. The same only I am going to write now. Okay, now see here. H2SO4 is there. When we are treating the same reaction, when we are treating sodium chloride, we are getting the product here, sodium bisulfate plus HCl. When we treat the sodium bisulfate with 1 more mole of NaCl, 1 more mole of NaCl, we will get here HCl plus Na2SO4. Okay, like that we will get. So by displacing this hydrogen from the sulfuric acid, we can get the hydrochloric acid. Okay, suppose in the place of sodium chloride, I am taking some other sodium fluoride like that. Okay, any ionic halides we can take. Okay, here I am taking sodium chloride. That's why I got the product hydrochloric acid. Suppose if I am taking NaF or KF or HF, KF, then I will get the product HF there. Okay, so like that we can prepare the hydrogen halides, okay, by displacement reaction. Okay, the next one here, in this process, HI, I said HF also can be prepared by the same method, displacement method, using the ionic fluoride, but HI and HBr cannot be prepared by this method. Why we cannot prepare by this displacement method? For this displacement reaction, we are using sulfuric acid here. when we take the sulfuric acid and treat with hydrogen iodide or hydrogen bromide, it leads to oxidation reaction. Okay, it will be oxidized. Okay, so oxidized means we will get in the pure form, that is iodine separately, I2 or Br2, like that we will get. We cannot get HBr or HI. Okay, so that is the reason. When we treat sulfuric acid, it will undergo oxidation process and we will get in the form of diatomic molecule, that is I2 and Br2, like that we will get. We cannot get HI or HBr. Okay, that is the reason. So the second method is displacement reaction. The next one, what are the other methods to do for this? Hydrogen halides. The next one is hydrolysis. First method is combination, direct combination method. Second method is displacement method. The third method is hydrolysis method. In your book, just they have given all the equations. Okay, just but when you read line by line, you can find the endings. Okay, separately. This is combination method. This is decomposition method. The next one is hydrolysis method. Okay, like that we can identify. Okay, now this hydrolysis, just we are taking phosphorus trihalides. Any trihalides you can take here. If we take PCl3, then the product will be HCl. If we take PF3, then the product will be HF, like that. Okay, so just the X here, the X is nothing but halogen, any halogen. Okay, here when we treat with water H2O, we will get the product here, phosphorus acid H3PO3 plus HCl or HX, whatever may be the X here, the same product we will get. Okay, if it is PCl3, then the product will be HCl. PF3, then the product will be HF, like that. Okay, here in this case we can prepare bromine HBr and HI. Here in this direct combination also we cannot prepare pure form, I said. Here in displacement reaction also we cannot prepare because it will oxidize, I said. But in this hydrolysis process we can prepare the bromine, hydrogen bromide and hydrogen iodide. Okay, so here how we can prepare? To prepare HBr, we have to take a mixture like this. Okay, here we have to add the bromine dropwise. Okay, we have to add the bromine dropwise to the mixture of red phosphorus and water. Red phosphorus and water. By this combination, okay, red phosphorus and bromine will become PX3, and when we treat with water, we will get the product as HBr. But how we have to treat the element? First we have to take the bromine dropwise. Okay, we have to add the bromine dropwise to the mixture of red phosphorus and water. In order to prepare HI, just the reverse. Okay, how we have to add the element? We have to add the water dropwise to the mixture of red phosphorus and iodine. Okay, will you remember the composition? Okay, how we have to take? Okay, to prepare hydrogen bromide, we have to add bromine dropwise to the mixture of red phosphorus and water. To prepare hydrogen iodide, we have to add water in dropwise to the mixture of red phosphorus and iodine. Okay, you should not confuse, you should not change it, right? Okay, you have to write as it is. We can explain this one in 3 more questions. How will you prepare hydrogen halides? By hydrolysis method. Like that they can ask. Otherwise they can specifically mention and ask. Okay, in 1 mark also they can explain. Okay, this combination they can give in different order. Okay, you have to remember correctly. Okay, so these are the methods to prepare hydrogen halides. The next one here, from covalent hydrides also we can prepare. Okay, just the halogens are reduced into hydrogen halides. Here H2S is there. When we treat with X2, here what is X I said? X is nothing but any halogen. Okay, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, any halogen. Okay, when we treat with this hydrogen sulfide, it is reduced. Okay, now let me write here. Halogen is reduced to HX. Okay, you can see how it will be. Here X means here halogen, I said. Any halogen, let us take here chlorine Cl2. What is the oxidation state of chlorine here? Good, 0. Okay, here in the product form it will fluorine here? Good. -1. Now if you see here, see the oxidation number here, it is reduced. Okay, when the oxidation number is decreasing, then we can say it is a reduction reaction, isn't it? If it is increases, oxidation reaction. If it is decreasing, it is a reduction reaction. Okay, so here the chlorine is reduced and it is converted into chloride. Okay, hydrochloric acid. Now what is remaining here? Here the remaining sulfur. Okay, two reactions. In H2S, react with chlorine, it produces 2HCl and sulfur. Like this. Okay. Now we can copy all these reactions. The next one, properties. Properties of this hydrogen halides. Okay, this properties mainly we know the electronegativity of this halogens. Okay, electronegativity, how it will be decreases from fluorine to iodine. Okay, why it is decreasing, all those things you know. Okay, then based on the size also, who is smaller here? Fluorine. When you are moving down the group, the size is increasing. Okay, so when we see the thermal stability here, which will be very very strong, you can guess which will be very very strong. Good. Hydrogen fluoride. Why it is strong? Because the size is smaller. Okay, the fluorine size is smaller, so that it can form strong bond with the hydrogen. When you are moving down the group, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, the size is large, so it can form bond with the hydrogen with less affinity only. The attraction will be very less towards the hydrogen nucleus and the halogen nucleus. Okay, the distance is increasing, so the attraction will be decreased there. But in the case of fluorine, the size is small, so the attraction also will be maximum. So we have to spend a lot of energy to break the bond also. Okay, so now the stability, when we are seeing the stability, which will be more stable? Hydrogen fluoride will be more stable. So in the temperature here 400 degrees Celsius, the hydrogen iodide will be decomposed, but even at 400 degrees Celsius, HF and HCl will be stable. Here why it is stable? Because the size is small, so the attraction between two nucleus will be greater. Okay, the electrons will be attracted very firmly. Okay, so now HF, HCl, HBr, HI, when you are moving down the group, the size is increasing, so the stability also will decrease. Okay, so HF will be more stable. The hydrogen iodide decomposes at 400 degrees Celsius. In that 400 degrees Celsius, these compounds will be stable. Okay, that is thermal stability. Okay, the next one, it shows now this hydrogen fluoride shows strong hydrogen bond. Then because of the strong hydrogen bond, it shows high boiling point and high melting point. Okay, the reason, hydrogen bond, strong hydrogen bond. Okay, one more question. The next one here, acidic property. Okay, what is the meaning for acidic property? Any compound which releases H plus ion, that compound is known as acidic nature. The compound is acidic nature. Okay, now here all the hydrogen ions, HF, HCl, HBr, okay, all those things easily they can send this H as a H plus, because they want to attain the noble gas configuration. Easily they will take the electron towards themselves. Okay, the H will be released as H plus easily. Okay, easily H plus will be released, so that we can say all the hydrogen halides are good acidic compounds. Okay, acidic in nature. Comparing with this HF and HCl, who is more acidic? Okay, like that when we discuss, this HF is weak acid. Why the HF is weak acid here? The reason, here the bond is very very strong bond. Okay, such easily it cannot release this hydrogen. Okay, the compound should release the hydrogen easily, then only we can say the acid is a strong acid. If the hydrogen is released in partial way, then we can say it is a weak acid. Okay, from 10th standard we are learning this concept. Okay, the compound which releases hydrogen completely, that is called strong. Which releases partially is called weak acid. Okay, so here the hydrogen fluoride releases this Okay, that's why we are telling HF is a weak acid. The remaining acids are quite stronger in nature. Okay, one more question. Among the following, which is a weak acid like that, they can ask HF. What is the reason? Because of the strong hydrogen bond between them. Okay, the next one here. Here all those things are given in your book. Just you can write the equilibrium reaction, equilibrium. That word you have to underline. HF is a weak acid. Underline that word. Okay, HF is a weak acid. Underline it. You will get it. One more question. Okay, the next one here. Another special cap of HF also is there. In our lab, you can see we have stored the hydrochloric acid in the glass bottles only. Okay, the glass bottles are made up of silica and silicates. You know. Okay. Now we cannot store this HF in glass bottles. Why we cannot store this HF in glass bottles means it will start to react with the silica or silicate which is present in the glass bottle and make the bottle to dissolve. Okay, it will make the bottle into watery substance. Okay, if bottle itself it will dissolve. Okay, so that's why we cannot store this HF in glass bottle or silica bottle. Then where we have to store means we have to take plastic bottles. Okay, like that we have to take and we have to store. Okay, 3 more question, 2 more question we can expect. Okay, why we should not store HF in glass or silica bottle? Okay, the reason HF attacks silica or silicates. Okay, now I will write the equation. Just copy down the equation. Silica SiO2 when we treat with HF, it will become watery. How it will become watery? SiFO plus H2O. Okay, the glass bottle will become in liquid state, SiFO and water. The next one here, sodium silicate Na2SiO3. When we treat with HF, we will get Na2SiF6 plus water. Okay, that means the bottle will dissolve when we are adding hydrofluoric acid. Okay, this is one 3-mark question. Okay, you can copy this. The next one here, oxidation. Okay, before we have discussed the reduction. Okay, it is reduced. Oxidation number is 0 to -1 like that. Before equation we have discussed. Now we are going to see the oxidation properties. Okay, oxidation. Here, this HI is the best reducing agent. One more question. Reducing agent. Now you can remember, it is a reducing agent means easily it will undergo oxidation. Okay, reducing agent means what? Easily it will undergo oxidation. What is oxidation? The oxidation number will be increased from reactant side to product side. Okay, so just let us see here. Hydrogen iodide HI. HI here what is oxidation state now? Here it is -1. Okay, in the product side you will get as I2. Okay, some other product will be there plus I2 you will get when you add this hydrogen iodide. What is the iodine oxidation state here? 0. If you notice here, the oxidation number is increased from -1 to 0. Okay, so loss of electron oxidation. Okay, 1 electron is lost, so it will become now 0. When the electrons are gained, it will become minus. When it's lost electron, it will become plus. Okay, so -1 to 0. Now can you understand? Yes, how this HI is acting as a reducing agent. So when we treat with any compound which we want to reduce, easily we can add this hydrogen iodide and make them do undergo reduction process. So they are highly oxidative in nature. Okay, the next one here, one more example. This one you have done in your 10th standard practical. That is when you add iodine to the starch, it will become blue color. Like that you have done this practical. You have seen the blue color here. Lab. Okay, so the biology practical you have done this one. Just one more question we can ask. When you treat starch and iodine, what is the color you will get? Okay, we may expect. Okay, so one more question. This is blue color. The next one, the hydrogen bromide. That's about the HI. Next we are going to talk about HBr. Here it is oxidation. Okay, reducing agent, so it is easily undergo oxidation is there, but it is difficult to make this hydrogen bromide to undergo oxidation. Okay, so for that what we have to add is we have to add some mild oxidizing agent like H2SO4. In order to oxidize this HBr, we have to add H2SO4, so that the Br here it is -1, so that it will be converted into Br2. Okay, and the product, the final product will be converted into Br2 oxidation number here minus here it is 0. Then we will get when we add the H2SO4, the mild oxidizing agent. In the case of HCl, for HBr we are adding the mild oxidizing agent like H2SO4, but for HCl we have that strong oxidizing agent like potassium permanganate and potassium dichromate, manganese dioxide, like that we have to add. Okay, one more question underline in your book. Okay, have you copied? For HCl, if you want I will write that also. For HCl we cannot use even sulfuric acid, we have to use strong oxidizing agents like K1F4, potassium permanganate and potassium dichromate K2Cr2O7 and manganese dioxide MnO2, like a strong oxidizing agents we have to use, okay, for the oxidation reaction. All these are best reducing agents only, but the variation is there based on their physical properties, based on their nature of bonding, all those things. Okay, yes, just copy down. Now we are going to summarize all this property now. Okay, what are the properties we have discussed? All those properties we are going to summarize and write. Here the reactivity of hydrogen, reaction with hydrogen. Reactivity of hydrogen, it decreases from fluorine to iodine. Okay, reaction towards the hydrogen, just before we have discussed, no, based on the size. Okay, this decreases from fluorine to iodine. The next one here, stability also you can say. Tell me, stability, it should be more stable, H. So when you are moving down the group, the stability will be decreases. Okay, fluorine to iodine, the stability also will decrease from HF to HI, stability decreases. Then volatility, here the order will be quite change here, quite simple here. Volatility, what is volatility? It will evaporate easily. Okay, that is called volatility. Okay, here HF, HI, HBr and HCl. Okay, thermal stability, 4 points. Thermal stability, is, you know, which is more stabilizer, HF, then HI, then HBr, then HCl. Okay, then the boiling point, which will have more boiling point here. HCl will have less, then HBr, then HA. Here I will link HA will have more boiling point. Then the acid strength. Acid strength you can say, we have discussed in our lesson. What is the acid strength? Here who will be very very weak acid here. HF is the weak acid. Okay, HF is weak acid. Then HCl, HBr, HA, the acid character increases when you are moving down the group. Okay, simply we can write it increases from HF to HI. Okay, that means HF is very weak temperature. Okay, that's all about this hydrogen halides. So in this part we have discussed about hydrochloric acid, preparation, property, uses, then hydrogen halides, HF, HCl, HBr, HI, how we can prepare, what are the methods are involved in here. Okay, some methods are suitable for HF and HCl only, some methods are not suitable for HBr and HI. So what are the other method to adopt, whether other method we have adopted to prepare HBr and HI, all those things we have discussed. Its reducing character we have discussed. Okay, so just go through this and